Today's guest is someone who's truly special, has made history onto our TV screens. It is Divina De Campo, who was on the very first ever series of RuPaul's Drag Race UK. And we're going to be talking all about the experience of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Series 1, plus setting that tone for the upcoming series, currently on Series 7, just wrapped, on all of those amazing queens, plus the amazing career from theatre, music, television, and there's a new tour coming up for 2026. And of course, we're going to be giving some of those tips and tricks on skincare. And if you are an incredible drag artist out there who needs a little tip on removing your amazing makeup, we are going to get it in this episode for you as well. So go grab a little glass of wine, cup of tea, cup of coffee, glass of water if you're on that January detox. Enjoy, listeners, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now let's welcome the amazing Divina to the show.
Well, hello. Welcome to the show, my lovely.
Hello. It's so nice to be with you, darling.
And me to you as well. And you, sweetheart, you've been a very busy person. For me to get you on was like, oh, when we come and make this happen, and we've done it. Well,
Yeah, we have. Yeah, it is busy, but that's good. I'm grateful. I've been extraordinarily lucky this year. I've been able to I put, those Instagram things that everybody does, and they're like, oh my, yeah, this is what I did this, yeah. Ooh. And I put mine up and I was like, oh, no wonder I'm tired. No wonder.
yes, exactly. You were being non-stop. And you've been doing like all your panto, literally everything, right?
Yeah.
God.
So it's been really, really great this year, but so busy that I am looking forward to a little rest. I have a little tour coming up in the start of this year. So a little tour in January. I'll start on the 17th and we finish on the 31st. But it's only 6 days, so I'm not like killing myself.
Yes.
It's mostly because there's no DragCon this year, which I'm super sad about. Like, DragCon is such a great opportunity to get to, see all the fans and, chat with people and, people who you normally wouldn't get to chat with. Like Miranda Lebrauer, she's out in Brazil, and the amount of times that I will get tagged in her pictures going, is this not Divina De Campo? And then, likewise, people going, you're giving a lot of Miranda right now. And we got to meet each other and be in the same room and be like, see, we are different people.
Yeah, not the same. Yeah. That's cute though. I love it. I honestly, I really cannot wait because I really want to talk to you about, because you was on series 1 of RuPaul's Drag Race. I mean, I don't know about you, but talk about a bit of pressure, because this show is obviously a worldwide show. First ever series in the UK representing, you are absolutely fabulous, FYI. But did you feel like it was a little bit of a pressure, or think, oh my gosh, guys, we are literally kicking it off here in the UK? And it's probably one of those ones as well, when it's like, is it going to carry on after the first series? Who knows? Like, no one knows after the first series, do they?
Yeah, exactly. And so I like all of these things, all of what you've just said, yes, and more. Like, I was so, I feel a real responsibility to an audience and to the community and to, the people around me. And, I try and think about other people as much as is humanly possible, and, my impact on them. And, I try and be supportive and help people and all of that stuff. Because I've been so lucky in my life that I've had people who have just been so generous with their time and with their skills and their talents, and they've poured those into me and really helped me to develop and given me opportunities. And, I've just been so incredibly lucky to be surrounded by people who are, infinitely more talented than me, like literally world-class talent, that have just been so generous with their time and their skills for me. So I really feel like, there is a responsibility to that. When Drag Race first launched, we were just seeing those kind of shoots of anti-LGBT rhetoric being used in the kind of social sphere and in politics, and so I also felt like, okay, there's a real responsibility here to just show that we're just normal people doing our normal people thing, and just making people laugh and have a nice time and all of that. And then, like you say, you don't know if this is going to continue. And as a drag queen, most of your work, like genuinely most of your work, comes from other drag queens who are working in a venue, So if you're part of like the circuit, which is what I was kind of doing most of at that point, I would pop into the UK from Gran Canaria. I would do like a weekend of work, and then I would go back. And all of that work came through other drag queens. So if you are on the first series of Drag Race and you're all absolutely rubbish and the show is a complete flop and there's no RuPaul's Drag Race ever again, then you are like public enemy number one. And none of those girls are going to be like, you know what? Let me get you a job. Let me throw you a gig. Here, come and perform for us. We like you. We think you. No, they're going to be like, you ruined the opportunity for everybody. We are not talking to you ever again.
It's the pressure. Yeah, I get it. Like, I felt like it was big pressure, but you didn't, and you did amazing, and all of you smashed it. And now we're on series 7, or just wrapped series 7. I do apologize.
Yeah, we just wrapped series 7, and the girls for series 8 will all be heading to boot camp very shortly.
Oh.
Because we film really early in the year, and then there's like a whole 6 months in between, which is a long time in TV land. Like normally, you kind of film 3 months later, the whole thing's done. Or a lot of these TV shows are done like they film them and it's live and out it goes, and especially the competition ones. So there's a long time between you filming and being able to talk about it and book from it and all of that stuff. So you spent all the money that you have, because let me tell you, most drag queens are not earning all that much money. So you spent all the money that you have in everything that you've managed to save up. You spend all of that money on having your costumes made and all of that stuff, and then you have 6 months before you can start to make any money from that investment. It is a long time.
But worth it. My love.
Potentially, yes, absolutely. If you can make it work for you, it is the best. It is the absolute best springboard that we have at the moment for a drag queen. Yes.
From series 7, who was your? Would you say your favorite? Well, not your favorite, but like,
oh golly! I mean, I really I'm taking the girls on tour this year.
You are. So, yeah.
Taking them all out on tour in April. It's the only official RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7 UK tour, and it's the first time that there's been a tour for 2 years. So I'm really excited about it, because I think that actually all of the girls have like a real clear perspective, and they're all really talented.
Yeah.
And who was my favorite? I mean, I don't know, because I'm going to get in trouble, aren't I?
Do you know what? I asked the question and I was thinking, okay, you've gone on tour with you.
I know. I mean, I got to spend a lot of time with Viola, because we already went on a tour together. We did Drag to the Musicals.
Right.
Which was like a 2-month tour. And she does have lots of opinions. But she is such a sweetheart. And the thing that I'm sad about for her is that on the show, she really did not get to show just how talented she is. She has a voice that is like honey and butter, and she has such a beautiful voice. Every night on the tour we would sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and she'd start, and
nice.
Every night I would, and then I sing next, and every time I would look at her and just be like, oh my god, I wish my voice was like that. because it was
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
it sounded like it had been through auto tune and like it had been compressed. And it had all the little, ooh, we'll just put this little effect on it, in the studio and stuff. And I'm just like, I sound like a dumper truck compared to this. What the hell? How
No,
am I supposed to sing after this? She just sounds so beautiful. And she plays the violin, which I don't know if she mentioned it on the show. She,
I think she did. I did think she did. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. She did.
over and over and over. But she plays brilliantly. Like she's great. So I was sad for her that she didn't really get to show just how brilliant on stage she is, because that was how she got the gig for Drag to the Musicals. Was I saw her performing at a Pride and was just blown away by her. I was like, wow, this
Yeah,
girl is fantastic. Like she's playing the violin, she's singing brilliantly, she's entertaining, she's funny. So she's great. And then I also spend a lot of time with Bonnie because we actually live together in Manchester. So I
wow.
live with Bonnie and Clyde when I'm in Manchester, and she is a hoot. I really, really have a lot of time for Bonnie. So really what I'm saying is the people that I know best, I like them best.
I'm not being biased on it. No, but yeah, but I think you said earlier though, you did say everyone's so unique and they got all their amazing things, for each person. Everyone has their own
Yeah.
unique
And
little.
I think that's what's going to be really fun about the tour is that actually the girls are all going to be able to really show off what it is that they do rather than who they were on the show. Because the show is like its own thing, which is separate to what do you do in drag. You can be amazing on Drag Race and not be a great drag queen. And you can be an amazing drag queen and not do great on the show. We've seen that over and over and over. And, I mean, some previous winners are not necessarily very good at the actual job of going out and doing drag, but they were amazing on the show. They're more of like a TV animal than they are a stage animal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get, yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah. And then plus,
And yes, that is me being shady, and I don't care.
your words, not mine. Oh, no, but I think as well, it's so many as well, and what episode was it? Like an hour, maybe, give or take,
Yeah,
hour. So it's a lot to ram in, as well. So you're not gonna
that's what he said.
yeah. It's, you can't get it. Yeah, it's a lot of queens to fit in, and
Sometimes you just can't get it all in. That's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah. No,
It's difficult.
so on the live stage, you're gonna get it all.
Yeah, all of it. We're gonna ram it all in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what about your massive highlight though from your series? Like when was you filming? Are you thinking, this moment now? It's like I'm feeling amazing, and I'm thinking like I'm so happy I've done it. Like applied and gone for it because I know auditioning, and getting rounds and getting onto the show is so hard. People don't forget it is difficult to get on actually on there.
Yeah, I mean the audition process is like the interview process for a CEO. This isn't like you submit your CV, you turn up and you chat to somebody, and there you go, you got the job. No, this is like you have to write a goddamn thesis, you need to make a video presentation, you need to learn a script, do a dance, make a little move, it's all the things. You have to do all the things that the show might ask for in a video. When we made it, it was 10 minutes, and it is so hard to edit everything down to 10 minutes
Yeah,
and to give them a little bit of, okay, I do a bit of this, I do a bit of that, you have to be really strategic when you're making a video about how do I show them while I'm talking and doing the other thing what it is that I do and who I really am. So there's a lot of kind of it's hard. It's a hard process to get in there.
it
What
is.
was the highlight? Like honestly, I said this on the finale night, and Michelle and Alan were like I'd killed a kitten or something. I said leaving. I really struggled while I was in there. And the final episode, when it was all done, I was like, oh my God, thank God. I didn't, the thing that I was so worried about was that we would totally, F it all up. And I shouldn't, one thing that I'll say to anybody who is applying, you're going on holiday, it's not up to you to represent what drag is or anybody else, or you're only there for yourself. And it's not that serious, it really isn't. Yes, it can change your life, but it's like your GCSEs and your A levels. This is just like a degree. So
Yeah.
you're getting your degree, and then what you do after it is totally up to you. So in that moment, in that space, just soak it all in and have the best time that you possibly can. And don't allow yourself to get stressed about it, because it's really not that deep. It is not that deep. Like Kate Butch didn't get top 5, but she is consistently touring with her comedy show and selling out gigs up and down the country because she's been smart about what she's done afterwards. And that's all you've got to do is, it doesn't matter where you place in the show. It's about what you strategically do afterwards so that you can succeed. There's loads of, same as Trixie and Katya, like they did not do very well on their original series. They were not the front runners, but look at them now. Like, those are the girls coining it in, because after the show they were like, right, pedal to the metal, let's go. And that's, so my highlight was leaving, and also the Frock Destroyers. I mean, being like back in PE and being the person not picked was exactly what I was expecting in that moment, and then coming out on top, being the cast-offs. We should have called ourselves the cast-offs, really, rather than the Frock Destroyers.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, but darling, we've all been there at a PE moment. But
yeah, that's what I mean. So I was used to it. I was ready for that trauma. That was okay. Oh God, it's like being 12 again. But like getting to work with Bagger and Blue, we all just worked so well together. They're both so funny and they're so kind, and I that's something that we've shared, and we will always have that.
yeah,
It's the first track out of Drag Race to chart, the first
yeah,
girl group. We were the first people in the workroom, and we ended up making that piece of TV together, and whenever we get together, I just have the best time with them. They're just so much fun. And me and Blue always argue about meet and greet, about who's taking longer. It's always her, but she says it's me. It's not, it's her.
it's I think that's the argument. You just keep on going. You just have to agree to disagree. When next time you do a meet and greet, maybe you just say, right, guys, time. Get one of the people, whoever is meeting you, just time it. Set them to time it, and that's true break. That's it.
And then we know.
Yeah, yeah. But I do forget about that single you did. Yeah, I mean, yeah. With back, yeah.
And it charted, like it was in the iTunes chart. We beat Camila Cabello when it came out.
Yeah. What was it?
Love you, Camila, but
yes, I remember. No, I do remember this. Oh my God.
it was wild. It was crazy. I mean, I was like traveling from place to place to place, gigging and stuff. So, like, I wasn't really in, when you're in the throes of work and this and juggling this and making these, and you're doing all the stuff, you're not really able to take it in. And it's only really now looking back at it and feeling like, wow, we did that. That happened.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You've done so many amazing things. Come on, you've done loads of incredible.
Yeah, I have been so lucky of it because I mean we had a little moment after we'd filmed where nobody could really work. Um and good old COVID. And but I was really, really lucky in that I was still being asked to do stuff online, and can you make us a video for this? Can you do this? Will you appear on this? Will you do that? Will you do this? And most of it was really, really great fun. Loved it. So it's what it's like. There's a difference between being in front of an audience and being in front of a screen. Like
Yeah.
that is a very different experience. And if it's not set up, right, then it feels a bit chaotic and it's very difficult to manage that.
Yeah.
But most of the time people were really, great, really, really great. And so I got to make some really fun stuff through the pandemic. And then after the pandemic, the phone hasn't really stopped, which is, I mean, unbelievable. I'm in a place where I could only dream of being 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago, before Drag Race, I was kind of getting to the point where I was like, okay, I don't know that this is forever. So, while people are still calling, I'll do that. But I was genuinely considering a redirection. Am I going to become a dance teacher? Am I going to go into teaching singing? Am I going to retrain as a PT? Or, am I going to do so? It would be something physical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm not doing quantum physics or anything. That's not my bag.
You're not a 9 to 5 person. No.
I mean, I can do 9 to 5, but I still have to be doing something that is a bit more physical.
Yeah,
Like
you're so creative. So of course, you wanna especially if you're teaching like singing or dance or something like that. You're such a creative, but you'll be incredible.
yeah. Well, I mean, I used to teach in high schools. I used to teach drama and dance in high schools, and I'd done dropping in and doing like dance community dance projects. I'd work with adults, people with learning difficulties, university students, high school, teeny tiny tots. Oh my God, just the cutest. One of my favorites was running a mother and toddler keep fit class in I can't remember what it's called. It's just down from Betws-y-Coed. So it's in North Wales.
Oh.
Llanberis. In
Oh.
Llanberis. It was in Llanberis.
No, but
Yeah.
but I'm glad you did it. I'm glad you stuck to it, darling.
Yeah.
You didn't. Yeah, and I'm glad you did because you did some you're doing panto. I don't know how many years you've done this though, but that is an intense. It's very intense though, isn't it? Oh my God, it's
Panto is intense, yeah, because you've got like 2 shows every day.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's 6 days a week, so you get 1 day off. But like for me, it's I love it. I just love it. There's nothing like being on stage and seeing tiny little faces have their first bit of theatre magic. When something magical actually happens on stage, and those faces go, oh, and they just like open up and they're like, wow, this is amazing. Or you have a room full of kids all singing, the song back to you. So like last year I was singing Unstoppable and I'm the Wicked Queen. And I'm going, I'm unstoppable, I'm a Porsche with no brakes. And the whole room would be, all of these 10 and unders would be going, all of them singing. There is nothing like that. I love doing club gigs, but there is nothing like a room full of kids all just like living their best life in front of you. It's amazing.
It is cute, right? And then I want to say as well, I wanted to check like on a personal level, because like, well, when we get older, growth happens. But like, would you say like anything maybe prior to Drag Race till you are like now, like since the show and what you've done after, like personally, have you like seen a growth or have you like learned something? Have you, along the way, like to give any advice to someone maybe starting out in the drag world, maybe? or
Oh,
any
I
performing
mean,
world, I would say.
yeah, I learned lots about doing drag and like working the scene
Mm.
from people who were doing it really badly.
I don't know what to say.
I used to work with lots of queens who thought that it was their job to offend people, and they thought it was their job to belittle people and take the piss out of people, and to the point where people would be crying, and the room would like you know what it's like if you're a comedian and if you're like an insult comic like Bianca, like if you're an insult comic like Bianca,
Yeah.
there is a level of tomfoolery that you can get away with, and the person is still with you, and they're like, oh god, that was so funny, thank you for recognizing me. And then there are also those people who are not able to read the audience or the room, and the atmosphere will shift and they will just continue. They just won't stop. So I'd seen that over and over and over again with queens who thought that their job was not to entertain and welcome people in. Their job was to kind of humiliate people to make themselves feel better.
Right.
So I learned a lot about doing drag from watching that and then looking around and going, oh, nobody's enjoying this. This is awful. Why do we do this? We shouldn't do this. So there was definitely some of that, like early on in my career, early on starting drag, like the first 1, 2, maybe 3 years um, where I was watching that and being surrounded by it and not being like, I don't think this is the one. And that actually taught me a lot about what kind of drag queen I wanted to be. And I very quickly decided it was not the kind of drag queen that made people feel like shit.
No, you don't though, darling. You're an entertainer. You have a laugh. You're so talented. So like you give everything.
Yeah. And the other thing that actually it was Son of a Tutu. I was doing Drag Idol, which if you're starting out in drag, go like I worked for 2 years for free in the local gay bar where I was. My husband was running it, but I just turned up on a Saturday night, did some numbers, and then pack my stuff away and be like, okay, now let's go get drunk. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
But so I'd done Drag Idol, which is another really great way to kind of be seen on the scene, because it's very hard to get into a lot of gay bars because the drag queens there are notoriously territorial. You're not coming into my room and trying to use my stage and try to steal my job. Yeah, which I totally understand. I get it, but we have to encourage and help the young and newbies grow and blossom.
Yeah.
But she said to me, it's not enough to beat the audience around the head with your talent. You have to make them love you. And that really stuck with me because I'd gone out onto stage, those kind of early performances I was doing, and I would be like, high kick, jump, split, kick, this, that, singing as crazy as I can. Whoa, yeah, oh my God, I'm amazing. And actually, people don't care. For cabaret, particularly, they don't care. They don't want that. You're not on the West End stage. You're in a backroom bar in Stoke-on-Trent. You don't want that. What they want is they want somebody who is a human, being a human in front of them and having a laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So actually, her telling me that allowed me to kind of drop that performer, and actually just connect with an audience in a way that was more honest.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why people love you, darling. I know, and I think that's a good lesson for any listeners. You know, people listen to the show who's into drag now, or maybe
Mm,
a bit lost, because sometimes in our work of creation we do get a little bit lost. And then it's probably
absolutely.
like realizing just be you and what you want, not what everyone else is doing. It's you. People see you and they fall in love with you. And people know, I think it's so hard to fight. Fakeness, I think, shows so quick. Like, you can't hide it. You know what I mean? Like, it just shows.
No.
You
And
can't.
it is also that thing of like what you've just said. What is it that you are going to do? You
Yeah.
know, because if you're copying somebody else or you're taking their jokes or you're, reworking them, that's not yours. So you're just a cheap copy of what somebody already is. Like there's a girl in Manchester, Vivian Lindsay. She's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant at what she does. And she at the start when she moved to Manchester, I don't think she'll mind me saying like she struggled to find exactly where she fit because she has this real clear like 40s glamour. It's quite her makeup is quite like toned down, it's quite neutral. It's not like drag. It's
Yeah.
I'm doing drag. And it's quite understated, which Manchester was definitely not that when she got to Manchester. Manchester was more like me. Um, so she kind of carved out her own little thing within Manchester, and now she gigs all the time because she knew what it was that she wanted to do, and she stuck with it. And she said, "No, that's what those girls are doing. That's not for me. I'm going to do what I'm interested in and what I want to do, and I will build an audience for that." And that's exactly what she's done. Um, and she's really, really great at what she does because she stayed true to it and she's had a clear idea of what it is that she wants to bring to the drag fraternity.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute. Darling, how many you know loads of people, don't you? You know loads of people out there, I tell you.
Yeah, I'm really lucky because I get to go and see all of these people.
Yeah.
When if I'm coming to a bar, I get to see those girls work, and I'm like, oh. And also, I worked in Manchester for 10 years. Before that, I was in Stoke for nearly 10 years, and I've done kind of traveling around doing bits of circuit. So I'm seeing this person, I'm seeing that person, and then because we ran a nightclub in Stoke, we'd have loads of people come to the nightclub that we were running, and they would perform on a Saturday night. Once a month we'd have a guest act, and and I was always I mean, I love drag. That's why I know so many people. I
Yeah.
love drag,
Yeah.
and I love seeing what everybody is kind of bringing to the table with their thing.
I feel like
Yeah,
you'd be like a talent manager, you will. I think you could do this job.
I
I think
I am so disorganized. I would not be a very good manager, which is something that I have also learned since Drag Race, that if if you have a manager and it doesn't feel like they're organized, you don't have a manager. You have somebody that you're paying.
for mess. Messiness. Yeah. Doesn't have to do anything. Your words, it's not my words. It's you. Um But person has gone on a bit of a good tour. What would you say? And we're not going to call out anyone bad here, but what's probably like the worst place you performed in?
Oh my God, Sunderland.
So that what?
Sunderland, straight
Some
after Drag Race, I went to Sunderland.
okay. Come on.
They hadn't paid the deposit, and I rang my manager at the time and was like, agent, and I was like, have they paid the deposit? And he was like, no. And I said, well, I shouldn't go then, should I? Like, they haven't paid the deposit. They're not going to pay us. And he was like, no, you should definitely go. They're going to pay us. No, that gig cost me £200 in train fare and hotel.
And your performance.
If it was just the performance, it's only cost me the makeup and some time. This, yeah, I made a loss on that gig. That was the worst place. And it wasn't like the crowd or anything. The crowds were great. The queens who performed before me were great. It was just like the guy who was organizing the night was a kid. like he was 22. And, you know, some 22-year-olds are really organized. They're really keyed in. They know what they're doing. They got it. He wanted to make things happen, but hadn't taken the time to develop any of those skills in order to make anything happen. So he just didn't know what he was doing. And so I turned up and looked around and was like, oh no. Yeah. So that's probably the worst one that I've done. But I've had some really funny gigs which should have been the worst, and they weren't at all. Like I did a ladies' night really early on in my my life as a drag artist. I did a ladies' night in it's somewhere just outside of Stoke-on-Trent. It's this little pub in this absolute rotter of a like town. Rotter. Turned up, they'd sold 6 tickets. Me, 2 strippers, whole night, 6 tickets. So I was like, right, let's pull this sofa forwards and let's have an intimate evening together.
Hey, we have to improv. I think McCobbie's just got to do it, right? Just why not?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I turned up. I brought my system. I lugged 2 huge speakers, a great big amp, and a mixing desk with me. I got my face on. I am doing this gig, and I am taking some money out of your till. That is happening.
Yeah, true. Yeah. What is like your what's like your ideal crowd though? Do you love a bit of ladies' night, or do you like a bit more of a mixture? Because people,
Oh God, I don't know who my favorite crowd is really, because generally I have a really lovely time with whoever's in the room. You know, generally I have a really lovely time.
Yeah.
Who do I go across best with? It's definitely ladies of a certain age.
Okay.
They tend to have a really jolly time with me. Kind of 30 and up. Like one of my favorite gigs. Oh my God. One of my favorite gigs I ever did. There's this other queen, Beverly Tightlips in Manchester. She just, shout out to Beverly. She just got engaged. So shout out to you, Dan. We went to, I think it was Conway Sailing Club. It was either Conway or Colwyn Bay Sailing Club. It was one or the other.
Right.
And it was like 30 women. All of them were 60 plus. Or like literally the whole room. It was like waiting for God in there. And I went out and I do rewrites. So I'd done Love is in the Air, da, 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 da. And but I changed the words. So it was more like Something About Mary. So I had the wig with the Something About Mary quiff, and the words are, "Come is in my hair, I was kneeling on the ground." And so for the chorus, I get them all to sing it. So I'm having this out-of-body experience looking at a room of 30 women, all 60 plus. Like some of these women are like 80, all singing and waving their arms. Come is in my hair, da, 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 come is in my hair. Like, just crazy and so much fun. They were so much fun. They were such a good laugh. So stuff like that, like those kind of audiences where you're like, oh, I don't think they're going to like this. And then they really go for it. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Again, you don't know because you're probably thinking your mind, oh my, okay, it's a certain age group. Okay, I don't know what's going to go. And then it turns into be probably the most best one ever.
It was hilarious. I had so much fun at that gig.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
And then tell us quickly before we go on to a bit of a skin core chat before we wrap it up. I want to talk about your tour, and then obviously you are hosting and going on tour with the season 7 Drag Race as well. Busy year tour for you, my darling. I've got to say. Your tour is first, though, darling, isn't it? In Feb, starting of Feb.
January 15th. We start January 15th.
Oh God,
we're starting in. No, not far at all. Starting London, and we're taking in Manchester, Leeds, Glasgow, Birmingham, and Mold in North Wales. So I'm returning to North Wales for a little solo gig, which is, you know, North Wales was the first place where I really did a drag gig by myself. So and it's the first place where I went and worked after university as well. I was the dance development officer for Anglesey. So it's got a very special place in my heart as North Wales. I really love it up there. So I'm doing that, and it's just chaos. It is 30 different songs, and the audience will shout out the number that they want. I won't know what the number is. They won't know what the number is. And we will perform whatever that song is that night. So it's a bit of a blind jukebox, is what
I
I would
love
call
that.
it. Yeah. So it's just really chill. We're just going to have fun. There's a meet and greet after the show at the merch stand. You just buy a piece of merch, so you've got something physical, and then we do, pictures and all of that stuff as well after.
Oh, I want to come and see you in London. I think I have to do it.
Do it. Two Brewers. We're at the Two Brewers in London on the 15th.
Babe, that's from the corner from me.
There you go. You've got no reason not to be there.
For you, my darling, I'll be there for you anytime. Oh, that's amazing. I love that though. You literally just shout, okay, that is so much fun. That's so fun to do. Like, yeah, I love it. Go. And then what about the drag race tour, darling? What were you doing there? You going to be performing a bit on this tour as well to open up?
That is possible. I'm currently collating. So the girls have all sent through their ideas for their numbers, and I've got to kind of, now what I have to do is I have to go through and do okay, how do we order this so that it makes sense? How do we, what are people's tracks? What are people's ideas? What's this? What's that? How does it all sit together? And how do we make that into like a show that has, highs, lows, and everything in between? So, which again is that's one of my favorite things to do is, the putting it together and making it all work so that there's a clear through line. Because I don't necessarily enjoy it that much when it's, the first person out is the first person on the stage, and then they're gone, and then next and next and next and next. So we're going to really look at how the show will make sense with everything sitting together. As to like who goes first and second and all of that stuff. So I'm kind of in the middle of putting that together. So we'll see whether I'm actually performing in it or not, or whether I'm just hosting. But I'll be there for the meet and greet, and there's a meet and greet before the show for that one. And yeah, I'm super, super excited to be getting the girls out on tour so that they can experience that.
Yeah. Was it
like I say that? Yeah. So I work with a guy, Stefan Evans, and we've just set up Kiki Touring. So we're a production company, so we're producing the whole thing. And I have the most amazing tech team. So there's a big screen, and I toured with them for Drag to the Musicals, and I was like, I am keeping hold of you guys, because you are great at your job, and I'm never going to let you go. What is it? When you get a team of people who just get it and they get on with their job and they know what they're doing, and you don't have to worry. Those are the people that you keep hold of them tight. Don't ever let them go until they retire. So yeah, I'm super super excited for the tour. And I think the girls are all really excited as well. It's going to be really fun seeing what they all bring with them.
Do you know what, babe? That the really big thing I absolutely love about you, that you love to just give back and love people to have new experiences like this. Like, this is important. You had it, and I think you just said, like, just then. And I love when you said, like, it's important for them just to go on and experience it.
Yeah, and
yeah.
There's only 7 dates, so it's season 7, 7 dates over 7 days, and who knows what will happen if it goes wild and all of the venues sell out. Then maybe we would look at putting some more dates in there at a later time.
Yeah,
and not everybody is happy. Of course they're not, because it's not going everywhere. But the difficulty of trying to get 12 13 busy drag queens all in the same room, all at the same time for a whole week, and then manage to line up venues that can accommodate enough people and
True. Yeah.
and then also that are free. Oh, I don't mean free as in then we're not paying anything for them. We're paying for them, but like they have space for us.
Yes.
Like that's hard. That is really hard. The logistics of touring is the most difficult part.
Yeah. And to get them place to place, like, and to get them around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, having to transport, accommodate 12 busy drag queens and then a tech team and production staff, because it's not like it's going to just be me and Stefan doing everything. There's going to be a whole team of people and dancers. So this is a production, this is a show that you're coming to. It isn't just pushing a drag queen on stage and letting her, fill the time. We're putting everything into this to make sure that this is a great show.
Yes. Yeah. I love that.
Which I'm super excited about that.
I'm excited, honestly, and that's why I just love that you've taken it on. I know you got a team of you, but you say, God, yeah, it's got to be done. We're going to do it, and you've done it. It's going to happen. It's happening. It's coming.
It's happening.
Happening, baby.
Everything's booked. I paid for it all already. It's got to happen now.
No coming back now. It's done. But before you go there, I want to talk to you quick about skincare, my darling, because the show is a little bit about skincare, and I love a little bit of skincare. Are you into it? Are you into a bit of skincare these days, babe? Or are you?
Yeah, I am, but I'm very kind of I'm a believer in old school. So I am like exfoliate, cold water, and then like a really good old lady moisturizer. So I am like an aqueous cream, an astral, not so much Nivea because they said that homophobic thing before. But yeah, why would you do this? We don't need the gays. Yes, you do.
I know what happened with Cheryl. Is it Cheryl? That's the face of Nivea, right? I don't know.
Is she? Well, get that money, girl.
Is it? Yeah. I don't know.
We've all.
To check them out.
I'm in kind of two minds about this stuff. Like, if you're Keira Knightley, right?
Right.
And you are taking a gig that is going to harm people, I think there's a different onus on you as a multimillionaire, one of the best paid actresses in the whole world, than there is on a drag queen who lives in Essex.
Right.
Do you get me?
Got you.
Keira probably doesn't have to worry too much about paying her bills.
Yeah. Whereas,
if you're a drag queen who lives in Essex, I've got bills to pay.
Yeah, true.
I can be the face. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna actually say you should do anything with this, So I think I have a sort of sliding scale of your moral responsibility towards stuff.
I think so. I agree. 100%. Yes. Yeah. But the skincare, just before I wrap it up, because I gotta love you and leave, But the skincare, darling, like what's your old school tips? So you like the cold water, free flow.
Yeah. So
Solo.
have you ever seen Mommy Dearest?
No.
There's a scene in Mommy Dearest where she fills the sink full of boiling hot water and has like an actual scrubbing brush and like scrubs her face. Then the other sink is full of ice and she like ices her face. And then she gets like the cream and she goes like, like Mrs. Doubtfire. And that is essentially what I do. Like I am like, scrub, because my skin goes through so much.
Yeah.
I need to make sure that those pores are cleared out every single time. So this advice came from Bianca, because I've done loads and loads of shows with Bianca. I think she's wonderful. She said what she uses is coconut oil, and then she uses Johnson & Johnson's baby shampoo. So the oil, to take her makeup off. So the oil just breaks everything down because most makeup is oil based. So she does that, and then you take that off. I use a flannel rather than a face wipe because they're all full of plastic and they end up going into landfill, and that's 450 years for that to be gone so that you took your face off. I don't think that's a good use of resources.
No.
So I'm a trusty old flannel girl.
Yeah, me too. I love.
Give me a trusty flannel because that also is like any dead bits that takes that off. And sometimes the face wipes, sometimes they're so harsh they make your skin hurt. Like
Yeah, bit red raw. Yes.
yeah, I'm not into that.
No.
So do that, and then baby shampoo, Johnson & Johnson No More Tears, all over the face, lather it up, and then take that off, and then that takes any excess oil that's been left in your skin. That just pulls all of that out of your skin as well. And honestly, like white flannel, dirty, totally clean after totally clean, amazing. So do that, and then a good moisturizer afterwards. Yeah, like a heavy old lady moisturizer.
You're not into serums or nothing, love, or nothing?
Oh, I mean, I've been using the serums. Yeah, I've been using some hyaluronic, and I've got some salicylic as well. I got a little beast in here right now that is driving me bananas.
Oh,
And it's what it's one of those that needs I need to heat up a needle, and I need to just bite the bullet and dig that thing out because otherwise it is just staying there until I'm 50.
No. Get a clay mat. Get something clay that draws it out. That's
Done that.
it. Oh, you've done
Done
I-
that. Yeah,
it.
I know. It's one of those that's so deep. It's kind of grown in and around itself, so it just needs obviously I am not advocating for you to dig at your face with metal implements. You should go and see a dermatologist. You should let them do their thing. That's why they're there.
Yeah. That's just it was just a little thing for you. But the taking off makeup though with the oil, that's a good tip. And
Yeah, really quick as well. Super quick.
that is a good one. I have not heard. Do you know if I've been to, I don't know how many people I've interviewed for 6 years of the show. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah. I mean, she said coconut oil. I just use baby oil. So, because then I can just go to one department. Boom, boom, right next to each other. Thank you very much. In the basket, off we go.
Oh yeah, I love it. Well, if I come and see you, darling, I'll bring you over some bits I have. I'll bring you over a little goodie bag for you.
I'd love that.
Oh, why not, innit? Why not? I do that for you.
Yeah.
Of course. As a little thank you, my love, for taking your time out for today. That's what I would do. Yeah, that's what I would do. I'll get some bits for you.
I'd love that, gorgeous.
Have a
Thank
pamper
you.
style. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, darling, thank you so much for coming on. I absolutely loved chatting to you, as always.
A
babe.
joy. Thank you so much for having me, darling.
No, you're welcome. And I'll see you soon, all right? I'll see you soon.
soon.
Take care,
Bye.
lovely. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.